Change your voice. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? It didn't do anything. It's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. Idiot. What's this? Oh, a mirror. How thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful? So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know. You never know when you're going to run into some other life form, after all. I doubt anybody who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. Alright, what else do we have to explore? Explore then. This. A window. And it's right next to the holographic image, too. So I bet it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off. It says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire. See? It's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality. Where else have I not looked? This view. We can examine this again. Can I switch my perspective here? No. What about over here? Ah! Ah, there we go. Oh. There will be something shiny here. Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. What's this? Looks like a metal jelly bean. It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 to 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see. That would make the caliber... .10? Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yes. But I've never heard of a .10 caliber gun before. This bullet must be for a special kind of gun. I bet if you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. I wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left, on the south door side of the room, according to this map. That's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us the card we need. Bullet, discovered in a gutter that runs along the south wall of the boarding lounge. It was fired from a .10 caliber handgun. Oh. Is that everything? I've examined literally everything. Oh wait, there's this. Let's see. This door is... Where's that pamphlet? Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. We went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. Second security lock must be disengaged now, right? They say the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. This thing besides the door, this must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackwell talked about it in the trial. Or at the trial. The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. And does this mean that the bomber's prints were verified by the system? But the number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. Voila! Fingerprint powder! I brought it just in case something like this came up. I found it at the office. I've been just itching for a chance to use it. Wow, way to think ahead. Now let's dust the fingerprint recognition device and see what we can find. You got it. Now to sprinkle some here and a little over there, and... And what? Let's see what we have here. Ooh, we got something. Oh, it's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure. Oh, sure wish we could figure out whose prints these are. Although I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints on the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right, and there's the security footage on this door too. Yes, here it is. It came up in court the other day. I wish we could see the part of the footage just after this bit. Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's ask the detective. With the mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away. Yeah, he's in almost too good of a mood today. Let's go see if we can find him find him again once we're done with this room. As for this... Yeah, that. What is this? I wonder what that big knob is for. It looks like the knob on a stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove would require knob security like this? Well, the knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right. If it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove? How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in. Then I guess all we can say for now, is that it's a mystery knob. Okay. Oh, is that everything? Welcome to the Space Center... welcome to the Space Center, guests. Welcome. Yikes. What in the world? My name is Ponko. P-O-N-C-O. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. It's a robot? I am not a robot, I am Ponko. Why does it have, like, spheres on its chest? Psychological observation and navigation companion. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. It could be Poncho, but whatever. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Oh, Ponko, I've missed you. Huh? Do you know this thing, Athena? Oh, she, showed us around the last time when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Ponko. I don't know what that said. Crap. Oh, that's a good girl. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy, so very happy. Wow, a guide robot. That's pretty cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. Huh? Ouch. That hurt. Oh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too. His name is Phoenix. A bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. Registering. Facial registration sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. Huh. This robot is pretty cute. You made a friend, boss. Isn't that great? Oh, isn't it great? Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. Oh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where? Fuck knows. Whatever. Space Museum. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Why the hell are there jellyfish in chips? Wow. What is this place? Is that rocket real? Welcome, one and all. There's the jacket that Apollo wears. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7 PM. Learn about the history of our nation's space development and the Hat 1 project. The rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. The Space Museum. Oh, here it is on the map. Okay, so it's on the exact opposite side of the main building from Launchpad 1. It includes a diagram of the boarding lounge and a cross-section view of the Space Center. Ask me anything. I will explain. Okay. The Hat 1. Bum 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 bum. This is quite the place. I can't believe we get to see a rocket this close up. This is a replica of the Hat one that was launched 7 years ago. It's exactly like the real Hat one, inside and out. Its little brother, the Hat 2, was supposed to launch the other day. I wonder if I nearly said Poncho. Wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out! Check it out! Spacesuits, photos, newspaper articles. I'd like to come here again on a day off. Hey, what's this a photo of? Oh! Oh! Phoenix, that's the staff of the Hat Project. We got Commander, Solomon, Clay, no idea, and no idea. Oh, there's Mr. Starbuck. He looks so young and so different. And that's... What is it, Athena? Is something wrong? Oh, nothing. I just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young too, that's all. Well, it was 7 years ago after all. So the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck is Clay Terran, the victim. So they were mentor and protege even way back then. He's even got one of the staff jackets. He looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Ah, okay. That makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everybody looks so happy. The Space Museum is great. What fantastic exhibits. This area is to be Launchpad 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of the budget cuts. Budget cuts! Budget cuts! We need more money! Money! Who would record that kind of information into a guide robot? While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched a probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmo said too. He told us it came back the day before Clay was killed. And here it is, the Hope space probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. Let's see. Oh yeah. The capsule that the victim was carrying. I think it had the same logo. It did. I think it can be seen in the photo attached to the autopsy report. Maybe she'll give me some more info if I show it to her. Oh. Okay. I'll do this too. And then present. So the way the Space Center Launchpad is set up is really cool. Would you like me to tell you about it? Would you? The setup of the Launchpad? Go gentle on my spiky-haired mind. I wanna know. I wanna know. Phoenix wants to know too. Great. Now Athena's got a case of ponkoitis. Hooray! I will tell you then. Whoa. The rocket is built right inside the Launchpad structure. When the rocket is complete, it's moved along with the Launchpad over the rails. And brought into position at the launch site. Isn't it cool, isn't it? We used to have a big budget, so that's how we could build it all. It's very cool. A grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. I guess everyone is hoping for a bigger budget next year. Myself included. I'm guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is, but it can also be operated from the new command center too. Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to first be disengaged. I guess before a big move like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I would love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold. Because of the bombing and the murder, I'll bet. Which is perfectly understandable. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching data. 7 years ago. I'm sorry. That answer isn't in my answer database. I guess Ponko can only answer certain questions. Alright, now let's present the autopsy report. Ponko, do you recognize this capsule here in the top right? Checking registered data. I know! It's the Hope capsule! It was carried inside the Hope probe. It contained the asteroid samples, right? Yes, it was designed to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. It's been stored in the safe in Launchpad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. It must not be removed. It must not be removed. Don't worry, Ponko. The people in charge already know what happened. They do? They do? I must ask them later. So the capsule was being kept in Launchpad 1, huh? Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. Space Center staff must have been really excited to finally get the capsule back. But it's a pity this incident occurred before they got a chance to check the contents. Well, the police took it as evidence, so they'll have to wait a little longer. Hope capsule. Found in the victim's possession, it recently returned from a 7-year mission and contains asteroid samples. Wow. Well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Pongo. You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. It's hard to believe you just met recently. It's because Pongo is so friendly. Well, what should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have things to ask him about. Let's see. The security footage and the fingerprint data, was it? Okay, then let's go back to Launchpad 1's corridor. Bye, Pongo. See you later. Come again. Come again. And don't forget to visit the gift shop. Poor Pongo. What a... Is that... Dickensian? Life we are all forced to lead. No idea how you say that. Alright, cool. Move to Launchpad 1. Okay. Detective Fulbright! What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? Oh, this again? There's Detective Fulbright. He still seems to be lost, even though it's a straight corridor. Let's hope he's still in a cooperative mood as well, then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress bit? Alright. Bullet hole at the scene. So we found a bullet hole in the wall at the crime scene. You did? Our team found that too. It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm? That's right. A warning shot for the defendant. Was it really such a high-threat situation that she needed to do that? I'm afraid I don't know the details, but what with Detective Arm gone and all? Oh, because she died. But I thought there were 2 people who discovered the crime scene together. We already know Director Cosmos will testify, so tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart. That's exactly what we're planning to serve as the main course. I hope it goes down easy. Fingerprint data. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes. I just happened to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackwell said to dig deep, so that's what I did. It sure took a while, though. Whoa, he got Apollo and my prints. He even got prints for all of the robots. I guess when Blackwell said to dig deep, Fulbright didn't bother to ask how deep. Clay's fingerprints are here too. Oh, I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. Still can't believe you took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important in this case. There are a lot of doors that require fingerprint verification in the lounge. So depending on whose prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense. After all, the culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprint lock somehow. Oh, and take this picture. It might come in handy. Isn't this just a picture of Launchpad 1 door? Yep, but Prosecutor Blackwell seemed really interested in it for some reason. Huh? What's so important about this door? Beats me, but boy, could I see the gears in his head go into hyperdrive at it. Sounds like this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. Okay. Hey, don't forget about the print comparison, boss. Right. Detective Fulbright, do you think you could run the test for us right now? You just leave it to me. In justice we trust. Why is he so helpful? Okay, here we go. Well, it looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. He must have opened it when they went to go to board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for his space adventure right then. Starbuck's prints were found on the door lock. Okay. What else? The security footage. There we go. Detective, about the security footage that was taken by the boarding land 1 camera. Oh, that footage? Go ahead and ask me anything you'd like about it. Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this? Easy as pie. I'd be glad to show you. Here we go. Why? Okay. So there's that. Huh? The screen went blank? Yes, apparently the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So there's no footage after this point. Why didn't you just say so from the beginning? The video ends immediately after the scene. Something definitely seems to be up with you, Detective. You're unusually cooperative. Well, I just figure if we work together we'll get that much closer to justice, right? But it seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything like that. Ah! It's been a while, but those are definitely psych locks. Did you just mouth psyched? Is there something I should be psyched about? No, psych lock. It's a system of locks on the secrets in a person's heart. I can see when they are trying to hide those secrets, or when people are trying to hide those secrets by using the powers of this Magatama. Presenting evidence can break those locks, and reveal any secrets they're hiding. Mr. Wright, how much did they bilk you out of for that piece of rock? If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. I'm more than capable of representing myself, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. It isn't some kind of fraud, it really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you. Oh my god, oh right, yeah, because we haven't done the Magatama stuff. We did it in the DLC case, but that was then. We can use the Magatama on him by tapping it. Okay. Whoops. Easy enough. So why you're being cooperative? I think you're hiding something, Detective. So why don't you just tell us about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Detective Fulbright is really in agony. I bet this is the issue he's so torn up over. Justice. I really understand what's been bothering you, Detective. I truly do. Something happened that goes against your principles, isn't that right? No. I don't know what you're talking about. Until the explosions occurred, everything was just fine. Is that a fact? Yep. Peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail for a routine rocket launch. I don't think the guard detail was as relaxed as you claim as long as this exists. Where was the evacuation report? There it is. Yeah, tight security. Before the explosions, what was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch. And yet security was so tight they even brought in a special task force. I'd hardly describe that as a relaxed guard detail. There's one lock. Now hold on just a moment. Now wait a minute. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was called in on a special security detail. As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that's true. That's true. But I say it's very strange that this person would be a part of that detail from the outset. Candace, because she specialises in bombings. Yep. Yeah, okay. So, Detective Arm specialises in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew there was the possibility that a bombing would occur. You got me, Mr. Wright. Okay. Oh, look at him, he's so sad. What you can't say. Alright, I concede. You win. It's just as you say. A few days before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing. But the plan to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. But why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed? Yeah, I know. The decision to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it? How was the warning delivered? By phone, and directly to Director Cosmos. But the police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. That's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you were so upset. But it's not only that. I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackwell, as well. Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you have a lot of difficulties. That's not it. It's a question of justice. I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court. The reason he's still prosecuting. Detective Wright, please tell us everything you know. Prosecutor Blackwell? Oh. Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules. Never mind that. What are rules but things to be broken, right? Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. I think we guessed that much. So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering about it. So you weren't told why either, huh? No, I guess the order came from pretty high up the ladder. Yeah, it would had to have. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still. 7 years past? A phantom, huh? And not one of the friendly variety either, I gather. Haunted for 7 years. This Phantom of 7 years past, any idea who or what he was talking about? Wait a minute, 7 years? Isn't that how long it has been since the Dark Age of the Law began? Ooh. Not a clue. But he seems to think that this Phantom is behind this whole incident somehow. Yeah, because even with Apollo Justice, that was... I don't know if they ever mentioned the Dark Age of the Law, but there was a lot of corruption and stuff. Which is what all of the Dark Age of the Law is about. He seems to think that this Phantom is behind this whole incident somehow. Well, wait a minute. He thinks they may be connected to this case? Yep. This case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, that case happened right here at this very Space Center too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. So that's why Prosecutor Blackwell thinks this incident is the work of the Phantom. Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago... That's when Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty of murder. That messy case is what started the whole Dark Age of the Law. So, you see how this Phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell's conviction might be related. Yeah, I can see why he'd think that. This incident and the Phantom, not to mention Blackwell's past, it's almost inconceivable that they would come to a head here. This might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackwell can't possibly believe Mr. Starbuck is this Phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kinda strange during the last trial and all. The prosecution appears to be ready as well. Oh yeah! Even Blackwell was acting weird. Not yet, I'm not quite ready yet. Hmm? Yeah. No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbuck is his phantom, but I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to them, which is why he's acting so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. And that's not real justice.